What is up, everybody? We are here at Hot Springs, Arkansas for the third race of the National Rock Racing Association, presented by Mickey Thompson Tires and brought to you by Spyder Offroad. Again, we have tons of spectators still pulling in. The crowd is packed in already. Drivers are down there. Again, that's a great, beautiful drone shot there. You can see all the drivers lined up, ready to go. We have a good course today, very similar to the course we raced yesterday. For those of you guys who watched yesterday, courses were pretty similar. We were going uphill, we were going downhill. We will do a little more of that rock section on that far right side you guys saw yesterday in front of the race line starting gate. So you're definitely going to want to stay tuned. Again, we are just kicking off live here, so yeah, it's an awesome day. I am Matt Holt. I'm with the talented Bree Mulder.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Hillside Live. I hope you are enjoying as beautiful spring day as we are here in Hot Springs. Like Matt said, we've got a full day of racing ahead of us. We are going to be starting off with our UTV bounty class, and then we'll have our bouncers. We're going to have our youth class run both of their courses in between, and then we'll be back for round 2 for bounty and bouncers. So lots of racing ahead of us today. Hopefully you'll be able to catch as much of that as possible with us. I hope you're able to watch some of yesterday's racing as well. We had our UTV stock and cup classes as well as our VIN class. And yesterday, our featured drivers for Featured Driver Friday was Clay and Cody Kaysen, CNC Racing, and they both took home the top spot in their classes. Yeah. Cody in the stock class and Clay in the cup class. So that was pretty fun. That was the first time for the brothers to both end up on the podium.
Super cool.
On the same weekend in their classes. So good times, good times.
It was neat to hear them say that was a first. And we were wearing their Featured Driver Friday shirts, so.
What can you say? I feel like we had a little hand in that.
I do. And again, I would say that, somebody had a great idea that, it wasn't me, but it was a great idea, So, again, Feature Driver Friday for the Kaysen brothers. First time ever that they were had both won in their respective classes. So, it worked out really cool. And that was kind of neat to see them get that picture together, both holding their first place trophies on the podium. So, very, very cool for the Kaysens yesterday. Again, they do a lot of behind the scenes. They're on recovery hills. Usually some of the Kaysens are the first people to help drivers when they're rolled over. So, again, they do a great. So, it was really neat and special to see them, too, especially on their Featured Driver Friday. So, very, very cool. And, again, we have tons of racing action, as Bree said. We have the bouncers. We have the youth class. Yesterday, we had UTV and several classes as well as our VIN class. So, tons of racing action. Again, the courses are going to be pretty similar to what they were yesterday. Although the end with the hill right behind us, that horsepower hill, is definitely going to be a lot harder. And, again, you can see it kind of right here behind us. This right here, this whole area right here is going to be I don't think it's going to cause any problems necessarily, but I think we're definitely going to see guys have a little bit more of a challenge with it. They wet it down last night. They also kind of wet the whole bottom area down here, just kind of keep the dust down. They did have a ton of rain here over the last week, so a lot of drivers were kind of surprised there wasn't more mud than what we thought there'd be. But because of the terrain, and this is a little more rocky, the water was able to wash away. So we did have some dust yesterday, so hopefully we can keep the dust down today. And, again, side-by-side, Bounty class is kicking off with us. These guys raced the exact same course as the Rock Bouncers. So it's definitely going to be a challenge for them, but I think most of them are going to do it. I was walking around talking to them. Yesterday, we do have a couple late entries. I
think we doubled our driver list for Bounty today, as Matt and I predicted would probably happen. A lot of our drivers also race in the Cup class on Fridays and kind of wait and see how that goes and how the buggy is afterwards. And then
see if it holds together.
Yeah, jump on the list for Bounty on Saturday. So that's actually what I'm doing, is adding our late entries now to the list.
And they even made a joke about this morning, like, we're going to have a few late entries. Again, guys who race, we have 2 different UTV classes that race on Fridays. So a lot of guys who use that same vehicle for both classes are like, we need to make sure the car stays together to see if we can't keep that and make it last till Saturday. So several guys, and sometimes they bring parts so they're able to fix it. But sometimes, unfortunately, things break that they cannot get fixed. Even with a crack team we have of people, they can't get it put back together.
There are a lot of those around here.
Yeah, we have some pretty awesome master mechanics. But I hear we're ready to kick things off on our race line starting gate. Seeing who we got down there. Again, our late entries are going to be going first. Looks like Cooper Bentley's sitting down there in the race line starting gate. Again, he's one of our late entries. He raced several classes yesterday, as well as he'll be racing, I think, all the classes today.
All right.
Just taking off.
If you guys are just joining us, welcome to the racing. Cooper Bentley out on the course kicking things off today for our UTV Bounty class here at Hot Springs Off-Road Park in Arkansas. Cooper took home the win in the Bounty class at Wildcat a couple weeks ago.
Again, these are the rock ledges we were talking about this morning. Wow. That was a much different approach. Came to that far left side, kind of skied across the hill there, carrying that front end, and was able to end up getting a climb out of it. Coming down that rock ledge. And there he is out. See what his time's going to be.
That's a 62.715, our first time of the day. Looking like Alston Tidwell on the line. Excuse me. The spectators are continuing to roll in here at Hot Springs. One of the great things about this park, many of the parks that we race at, is just how spectator friendly it is.
Yeah.
We've got the whole hillside that we've got all the courses for all the classes lined out on, and then we've got basically like stadium seating right across from it on the opposite hillside for all of our spectators. It's safe. Everybody's there's not a bad view in the house.
There really isn't.
You can see everything. So yeah, this super spectator friendly. And they're just rolling in.
They are.
I just keep seeing the line.
Yeah, and we have a ton of spectators already here, and yet we still see side-by-sides and Jeeps still pouring in. So.
And what a beautiful day to be outside racing, watching the race, riding.
Yeah, it really is.
This is about as good as it gets as far as race weather.
Again, I know the park was pretty full last night of guys out riding last night, so it's kind of cool to see some of them out. And some of our racers actually took their side-by-sides out and rode around last night, too. It's kind of cool to see.
This is a fun park to go ride at.
It really is.
How many of you guys watching at home have been here at Hot Springs Offroad and hit the trails? All right, let's see what Alston can do on this course.
Again, he also raced with us yesterday. We have a lot of drivers in the side-by-side class that do double duty or triple duty.
Or triple.
Wow, jumping up that ledge. Again, we saw Cooper Bentley kind of just skim through that first uphill section. Getting this great drone footage. You can watch them hug that tape because there's several different downhill sections there. So you can see a lot of those drivers kind of hugging that tape on the right-hand side. And then once they come down, you can see they do have to exit through those flags. Obviously, trying not to hit flags is important.
Definitely don't want to add that flag penalty to your time.
You do not, I promise.
And we talked before about why we have the flags and the penalty. And one of the main reasons is for safety on the course. I know Clyde said during the drivers' meeting that there was basically a hole that you did not want your front end to get down into right where one of those flags is. So part of the reason for having those and making sure the drivers stay away from them by having that penalty is for safety on the course and avoiding the obstacles that we don't want somebody to get into. It's also for spectator safety and making sure that drivers check up at appropriate areas on the course, as well as just making sure that everybody's running the same course and make it no shortcuts getting made.
Yeah, and from a racer standpoint, I think that's one of the most important things. 90.601 for Alston Tidwell. Again, making sure that all the drivers are on the same course. I feel it's very important, very appropriate. Because you don't want anybody skipping corners. And again, we've had drivers hit flags, or we've had some nudges. We've had some light touches before.
Yeah, and a brush with a flag is okay. The standard out here, the rule for that is if you knock it 45 degrees or lower, that's considered taking out a flag.
Yeah.
So, uh-oh.
That's not good.
Nathan King didn't make it too far off the line here.
We saw him messing around yesterday. Had a panel off right before he took off and made a run, so I'm not sure what was going on there.
For our Hillside Live audience, make sure you guys are joining us on the Rock Racing TV Facebook page, not the group page. You'll see when you search Rock Racing TV, there is one that says your group, and there is one that says something like Broadcasting and Entertainment Production Company. That's the one you want. Come over here and join us. We want to be able to see your comments, answer your questions, and interact with everybody.
Get Nathan King out on course doing work.
If YouTube is more your style, you guys can also head to the Rock Racing TV YouTube channel. Oh, Nathan.
Get back on your wheels. I think he might roll over just enough. There we go! Yes! That is epic. You can hear the crowd all cheering for him. And they're going to check and make sure he's okay. But as long as they're not doing any repairs, he can still continue the course. But right now they're going to check and make sure he's okay. All right, we got a replay real quick presented by Rock Racing TV while they get his rig checked out there. Came in kind of just kind of skeeching that side hill and just tires caught a little bit too much traction and tipped him over. And again, right there, super slow, like slow-mo there.
That probably felt like the longest slide for Nathan.
Landed on all four and was able to bring it down, but that first lunge at the bottom, you can see Cody Kaysen over in the corner checking to see what's going on. And again, it sounds like they got him started back up again. I don't know.
I don't think his tire's supposed to be leaning that way.
Yeah, he might have either bent something, broke something. I would say
that was a bit of a hard landing.
That was a really hard landing. And again, it's kind of a super slow-mo, hoping to put it back on all four tires, but...
Oh, man, heck of a run from Nathan. Man, this bounty class, we got to keep these guys on their toes. You know, They're racing the exact same course that the bouncers are going to be on. Most of them have already raced in the Cup class yesterday. They are putting these machines to the test.
Yeah, they're pretty brutal.
Machines and drivers to the test out here. DC Thompson is on the line, ready for his run at the hill. What's up? We got James Cantrell, Matt Schisler, Taylor, Scotty, Knox.
Knox is with us.
Savannah.
Knox is one of our very helpful people at the track usually, so he's not with us in person. He's with us in spirit today.
Savannah, where are you guys at today? Savannah and Clint Garrison. We miss you guys being out here. Here we go, DC.
DC ripping off that Raceline starting gate. Again, he raced with us yesterday as well. Had some issues, but he was also out riding. Broke something yesterday
or something.
But he was also out riding pit bikes last night, so not too much of an issue. So definitely having a good time today. Again, DC guys, no stranger to the podium. Again, making quick work of those dirt hills. Ooh. It looks like he was taking a little bit more time climbing that dirt hill, so that rock section there. Coming down pretty quick, actually. You can see those side-by-sides trying to kind of ride that little bumper on the edge there. And that's just basically to keep the vehicle upright because it is such a steep ledge.
.544 for DC Thompson. Excuse me. Cooper Bentley still in the lead right now with a 62.7, then DC with a 69, and Alston with a 90. And then we had Nathan King as a DNF. Let's see, we've got Madison pulling up to the line now. And then we've still got half of our list of drivers You guys are watching round 1 of the UTV Bounty class here at Hot Springs Off-Road Park in the heart of Arkansas. Actually, I don't know if we're in the heart or not. We might be close to the border. I need to look at a map.
Yeah, we're slightly deep into it. Again, Madison and Nathan are the dynamic duo, brother and sister, that absolutely come out and just crush it each weekend. Again, you can see a lot of the side-by-sides are actually jumping that ledge.
Madison's even racing with a knee brace on this weekend.
Which is crazy.
Can't keep her down. I know some other crazy people that are racing with an injury today, too.
Yeah,
Injury, a head injury,
yeah,
I don't know, leg injury. Which one is it, Matt?
We don't.
Come on, Madison.
Again,
Nice.
She absolutely watched her brother and took definite notes of that.
She said, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. We still have people pulling in. Dirt bikes. We just seen a bouncer roll through. Like, it's super awesome to see guys pulling in.
Steady traffic here. They heard these motors get started up and knew where they needed to be.
All right, Madison. 82.740 from Madison King. I don't see any more. Here we go. I heard one now. We got a couple coming down. They must have all been watching.
Got a whole parade down here.
They must have been watching to see what was going on, or that we just wrapped up our late entries probably.
We did.
Yeah. So these are all our regular drivers who are watching the late entries to see what was going on.
If you are newer to the series and wondering why all the late entries go first, that is our typical process here. We allow whoever drew number 1 to choose whether they want all the late entries to go first or go last. And typically, it is decided for the late entries to go first. Yeah. Everybody likes to have the benefit of being able to watch somebody else go before them. This is Nathaniel Bell out on the course right now.
Again, having somebody going for it, because it tells you kind of like how you kind of gauge it from their speed. Like, hey, I can go faster here, I can push a little harder. Or, hey, they went a little too fast, had some issues, maybe I can back it off a little bit. So, again, it kind of gives you that gauge of seeing what's going on and helps you kind of...
I'm sure Nathaniel wasn't sad about all those late entries that he got to watch go first on the hill. Nathaniel is sitting first in points coming into this weekend for the Bounty class. He's got 193. He's ahead of Madison by 6 points. She's sitting in second coming into the weekend with 187. Josh Kaprinsky is third in points with 140. And then we've got Robert Craner and Cooper Bentley rounding out our top 5 in points.
Wow, he just smoked that.
63.879 for Nathaniel Bell. Great smooth run. Not enough to knock Cooper off of that top spot. Cooper came out first one on the course and set the bar really high for these guys with a 62.7. Nathaniel in second now with a 63.8, and then DC Thompson with a 69. Josh Krapinsky out on the course. Ooh, that sounded a little rough.
Yeah, that didn't sound very good. Yeah, something doesn't sound quite right there.
Well, it just needs to hold together for two more
runs
times on this course.
Yeah. Again, the dirt section really hasn't caused too many problems for guys. We did see some of our VIN class guys yesterday kind of bouncing through there. I talked to Justin Holback last night. I said, man, it looked like your truck was really bouncing there. And he said, you know what? Because it's so heavy, the truck's so heavy, you don't really feel the bouncing as what you would with, like, say, a side-by-side that's really light. You do feel it a lot more.
We sure saw the bouncing. Yes. That WT was all over the place on this course.
And again, Justin is a guy who's raced a side-by-side before, so he would know, if, he said you definitely felt a lot more bouncing the side-by-side, but because there's just the sheer massive weight, you really don't feel that. It doesn't transfer into the driver as well, which he said was good. He's good. He's thankful for that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So.
All right, Josh, through the finish line. Let's see that time.
78.277 for Josh Krupinski. Again, you can see we've still got a couple side-by-sides pulling down there in our race line starting gate.
I see Robert Trainer on the line now. Good-looking purple chassis there.
His son, Ramsey Trainer, was down here pre-run last night and broke a trailing arm, A-arm or something. So
A-arm, yeah.
They had to call some reinforcements and bring parts in. So I got to talk to his son last night about what they were doing and how they were going to get it fixed, and it was really awesome. So
Ramsey was pretty cute. He came up to me. We typically do like a group dinner on Friday nights, or whoever is at the RV camp and wants to. We do kind of a potluck. So we had taco bar last night. And
brownies.
And brownies. Matt was excited about the brownies I brought.
They were delicious.
And Ramsey came up to me and he was like, "I need to tell you something." I'm like, "Okay, buddy, what's up?" And he's like, "I've been an A-arm," and I'm like, "Uh-oh,"
yeah.
And he's telling me all about. And I'm like, "Are you gonna be able to get it fixed?" And he's like, "Well, I don't know. I think so. And if not, then we'll just have to." Do it anyway and hope it doesn't bend some more.
Yeah, Hunter Vargo.
Really
Hunter Vargo, they called them, but they brought him some parts. They were able to put it back together.
There you go.
So shout out to Hunter Vargo for helping keep all of our youth racers team ready.
Race family for the win.
Yeah.
In more ways than one.
Robert's flying
Robert
that downhill.
is moving down here right now.
That purple cage just glistens in the sun.
The power of purple.
The power of purple. There you go. He went a little bit higher up before he started crossing over, and again kept that side by side a little bit flatter, I think. Again, after watching Nathan, I think he wanted to make sure he kept all four tires as flat as possible. There we go.
So it's sounding like Robert did get a flag penalty.
Oh, man.
Up at the top of the hill. It was hard to see. But with the penalty, that would be a 113.382 for his time. I think we'll have somebody up there, probably Bill, fixing the flag for us real quick up at the top.
That's what I was trying to listen to the radio traffic. I think it sounds like that's what they're up there doing now. Trying to get that flag put back together.
Hold on.
Okay.
All right. So update. Actually, he didn't take out the base of the flag. It was just the banner part of it. So he does not get the flag penalty.
They get that flag set up there real quick. Again, it's interesting to see how drivers are changing and modifying things as the day goes on. Listen to some radio traffic. Sounds like they're going to get the flag set back up.
So looking like an 83.382 would then be Robert's time.
Okay.
Minus that flag penalty.
Everybody taking a minute while we reset here and get that flag put back up.
All right, guys, while we get that sorted out at the top of the hill, we're going to step away for a quick commercial break, and then we'll be right back with more of that UTV bounty action.
The Mickey Thompson Premium Mud Terrain is on the road and full of undisputed attitude. The Baja Boss MT. No compromises, ever. We are purpose-built tires for truck and Jeep enthusiasts everywhere. All mud tires are not created equal, and here's the proof. Powerfly XD construction, asymmetrical tread design, extreme side biters, and more. Find your tire size today at MickeyThompsonTires.com.
Good luck.
People are
That's our
creatures of habit.
Hey!
Matt, you're so loud.
That's hey.
You have to move this. Casey Howell out on the course now. You guys got to hear Matt yelling in everybody's ears.
I thought we were on commercial still.
I was like, Matt, you have to move the microphone before you yell.
I thought we were on commercial. My apologies.
Bless your heart.
Getting Casey kind of following that same thing that Josh Krapinski did. Again, hanging up there, riding actually up that dirt ledge a little bit farther, trying to keep the buggy as flat as humanly possible as he rides into there.
Casey's had a little bit of a tough luck so far this season. Glad to see a nice, smooth run through the finish line.
6.7. Go ahead.
67.935 for Casey Howell. I believe that means we've just got Clint Strain left to go. He's going to wrap up course 1 for our UTV bounty class. If you guys are just joining us, welcome to the show. You are watching Hillside Live, hanging out with Bree and Matt. We are at Hot Springs Off-Road Park in Arkansas for the Mickey Thompson NRRA race number 3. This weekend presented by Spyder Offroad. It's a beautiful day out here, some amazing weather. The spectators just keep rolling in.
They really do.
We're having a good time here at Hot Springs Off-Road Park. Knox said Matt's special.
Hey.
He's so special, Knox.
I am very special.
In so many ways.
My mommy tells me so.
All right, Clint Strain. The time to beat right now is a 62.7 from Cooper Bentley.
Getting Cooper had a fast weekend so far. Again, I'm sure he's going to try to hang on to that.
Craig, we had 10 drivers in the bounty class this weekend. Taylor, we did not have any late entries for bouncers.
Yet. That could change.
I have seen a lot of bouncers on trailers getting pulled in here.
I have seen a few, yeah, pull in.
Oh, come
Get
on,
up there.
Clint.
Just watch him slowly just creeping down there. Again, that's such a steep ledge. 77.325 for Mr. Clint Strain. Again, I believe that wraps up our UTV Bounty Series. Again, we got the bouncers getting ready to kick it off here in a minute. You'll hear them start to get fired up. And usually it takes the first one to get fired up, and after that, then they all start getting geared up. So we're going to actually cut over a commercial break before we come back to that racing action and get our top 3 UTV Bounty Series.
Rebirthed from the depths of Baja, Mickey Thompson Tires announces a new American mud terrain legend. The new Baja Legend MTZ. Silica-reinforced T4 tread compound. Powerply 3-ply construction. Improved 4-pitch side biters. Proven MTZ tread styling for undisputed traction. 35 different sizes, and one is just waiting for your rig. The Baja Legend MTZ. What you want. No matter where your ride takes you. Whether it's a quick trip or a slow climb. When you choose RCV Performance Axles, you are guaranteed to finish every time. Mickey Thompson Tires announces a new American mud terrain legend. The new Baja Legend MTZ. 35 different sizes, and one is just waiting for your rig. The Baja Legend MTZ.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. What a beautiful day there. You can see our spectators, our pit area. We are having a great time here at Hot Springs Off-Road Park in Arkansas for race number 3 of the Mickey Thompson NRRA, presented by Spyder Offroad. Before we get to that big bouncer action, let me do a quick top 5 rundown from our UTV Bounty Course 1 we just wrapped up. Cooper Bentley had the fastest time with a 62.7, followed by Nathaniel Bell with a 63.8. Then we had Casey Howe with a 67.9, DC Thompson 69.5, and Clint Strain with a 77.3. That means it is time to move into Course 1 for the bouncers. It's going to be a good time, guys. We've got a great list of drivers today.
I said Nick Reich sitting over there on the starting line, that Fordzilla built by Jake Pike. He is one of our farthest drives, I think, coming from Wisconsin all the way to Arkansas.
He drove 15 hours to get here to Hot Springs to race this weekend.
Yeah, one of our definitely longest drivers by far. Again, Joe Pierce, Maine Maniac, he used to drive from New York, so obviously he had kind of the the longest drive, I think, by far. And I used to love to whine when he had to go to Southern races, and he'd be like, "Really, long drive, Matt?" He's like, "Add 8 hours onto that."
That's definitely some commitment. Nick Reich and Fordzilla ready to rock and roll, do some hill killing.
Here we go. Clock is hot. Jack's giving that 3-2-1 countdown. Or Justin, sorry. Jack was here yesterday doing our countdown. Justin's down there today.
One of just a couple of Ford-powered bouncers out here. The old Fordzilla is no stranger to some hill killing action.
Wow. Whoa!
Oh, man. What a wild ride for Nick Wright.
Tag that tree.
As we said yesterday, the trees don't move.
Yeah, I think he lost front steering. But he's able to get it straightened up. Again, if he can get a finish out of this. Using that rear steer.
Ooh, he's got his work cut out for him.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, man.
So, again, using the rear steer to the best of his ability there. Looks like he's able to climb the good part of that hill. I think turning around, this is kind of a hairpin turn around the flag at the top of this hill. So, getting turned around might be a little bit of an issue. So, again, taking his time coming down there.
I think that rear steer is definitely his saving grace on this course right now. Looks like he's going to get a finish out of it. Come on, Nick.
Trying to keep that front end as straight as possible
coming
there.
Downhill. Oh.
There we go. Woo!
Y'all remember these hills are much bigger in person than they appear on camera.
Yes. Wow. Get our first bouncer of the day.
118.874 for Nick Reich, coming all the way from northern Wisconsin to race with us today.
And again, we got a replay presented by Rock Racing TV here. And Nick coming down the hill, just bouncing down those big dirt ledges. And it looked like he was going to be okay. Straighten it back out and just tag that tree.
Man, that last bounce really got him. You can't control a buggy that's in the air.
Yeah. So it looks like he was able to straighten it up there. And very quickly, I'm sure he realized that he did not have front steering. But has rear steer, so was able to...
Lucky for him, yeah.
Yeah, luckily he had rear steer, so was able to still get it there. Got Richard Hodges pulling down the starting gate.
Richard Hodges, and with a buggy called Wild Card, safe to say anything could happen out here right now. We'll see what Richard's got up his sleeve. Be interesting to see how the rest of the drivers choose to come downhill after watching Nick's rather full send.
Yeah, he was
right off the bat.
And you know what? Other than that last bounce, he was kind of keeping it under control.
Yeah, if it hadn't been for that last little bit.
Again, you saw Richard kind of pull that right side, start cutting it as he was coming down that hill. I'm sure that has something to do with
a wide berth around that tree.
Yeah, I'm sure that had something to do with watching Nick's run.
Stay in it, Richard. Nice.
There we go. .576 from Mr. Richard Hodges. That was our second time of the day. Again, this is course number 1 for the bouncers. Got Clayton Smith and the Reclaim Racing team sitting here in the starting gate.
Clayton already won a Skinny Pedal Award for one race this season.
Yes.
I'm sure he probably doesn't want a repeat nomination.
No.
I don't know. The way he came out the gate, though.
He did.
Kind of says otherwise.
Again, you can hear that motor just screaming up and down that hill.
Getting bounced around a little bit and thrown towards the trees there. You know, until you've been in the driver's seat, strapped in, adrenaline's pumping, you're in race mode, you're, you know, trying to go as fast as you can, stay out of the trees, hit the rocks and the whoops in the right spots. It's hard to really understand what it feels like unless you've actually been in that driver's seat before. You might think, man, why don't they just go faster through that spot? Or why don't they do this or that? You're getting bounced around in there.
Yeah.
You're trying to keep your hand, you know, on the shifter, on the rear steer. Or things get a little
crazy.
A little crazy sometimes.
Yeah. And again, you're just trying to keep it going straight in forward progress there.
Trying to remember which rock you were going to put your tire on.
Yeah. Which tree you had to turn next to. Wow.
77.105 for Clayton Smith. That is our current fastest time. We are 3 drivers into Course 1 of the RCV Bouncer Cup class. And we've got Daniel Heckley on the line now. I see Amir checking in, one of our Israeli fans that was able to come out to the race at Wildcat a couple weeks ago. What's up, Amir? Taylor said, tell Daniel to stay away from the trees.
Yeah.
Bless his heart. Between Daniel and Jay, we've had some definite run-ins with the trees so far this season. He just knocked over one of our timers. Whoa, Daniel.
He is ripping up through that woods course.
Oh no, he tagged the tree, but that's okay. It didn't really slow him down.
Yeah. Tell her I'll work it in, Taylor.
I guess he didn't get our note about staying away from the trees. Whoa, all right.
Whoa. Wow.
Squirrely here.
Wow.
All right.
.870, your new fastest time literally so far. We've had 4 runs, and every single run they're getting faster. So.
All right, so that begs the question, what do you guys think is going to be the fastest time on Course 1 for the Bouncer class? Daniel just laid down a 65, Clayton a 77, Richards a 97, and Nick a 118. Nick, of course, did have some steering problems. If he had been able to keep his speed up that he had coming down the hill, he would have definitely been
just
setting
fine.
a high bar. Matt, what you doing?
Just hanging out.
Yeah. Matt is trying to put on his fire suit with a busted leg. All right, we've got Chris Grigg on the line now, and that wide open design buggy, wide open right off the line. I believe Chris also had quite a drive to get out here. Something about a 14-hour drive turning into 18 hours, something like. He must have had a little trouble on the road. That just shows you the level of commitment of our drivers out here. Even if you don't have to drive that far, you live a little closer to whatever park we're racing at. Man, the time, the energy, the money, it's all such a commitment. And we do it out here because we love it, and we're glad that you guys are able to join us here on Hillside Live, and hopefully able to join us in person sometimes too at these events. And get the full appreciation for the show that these guys are putting on with the horsepower and hill killing. All right, Chris. Straight on to the finish line. .424 for Chris Grigg. Looks like Super Cooper Bentley is on the line now. This is the fourth class that Cooper has raced in this weekend. Cooper is also coming into this weekend second in points in the bouncer class. Now, there's a pretty steep gap between Timmy and Cooper. Timmy is first in points by 26 points in the lead. But hey, we're only, that was coming into this weekend, so that's only factoring in our last two races. There's a lot of racing still to happen in the 2024 season. Cooper's definitely doing everything he can to close the gap. Oh! Cooper already laid down the fastest time for course one in the UTV bounty class this morning. Oh, hang on. Stay with it, Cooper. 67.251. Woo, that's a second place time right now behind Daniel Heckley. Let's see, Taylor predicted we'll have a time of 59 something. What else do you guys think? Who else has a prediction of our time today? We just saw Cooper run a 67. Daniel Heckley in the lead with a 65 right now. Looks like Dan Bowman is pulling up to the line. We've still got Colby Reich, John Campbell, Tim Cameron, Jack Porter, Jay Storts. Let's see, I might be missing another couple here. We are about halfway through our list of drivers for round one of the RCV Bouncer Cup class. If you're just joining us, welcome to the show. You are watching Hillside Live. We are here at Hot Springs Off-Road Park for the Mickey Thompson NRRA race number 3 for the season. This weekend is presented by Spyder Offroad, so a huge thank you to them and to all of our sponsors for helping us do what we do. It takes a village to put on an event like this. There's a whole lot that goes on behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, beside the scenes, all the things. So we appreciate all of our sponsors and everybody that partners with us to help us do what we do. And a huge thank you, as always, to our pit team, our recovery volunteers for making sure everyone stays safe out here and being so quick on their feet. And to all you guys for tuning in with us. Dan Bowman, here we go. Oh, Tyrant. Well, so far so good. Nothing too crazy. We saw Nick Reich, our first bouncer driver of the day, come flying down that hill and bounce right into a tree. So I'm sure everybody else kind of took note of that. Uh-oh. Dan got a little off his line there. That's a pretty good view there to give you an idea of just how steep the hill that they're climbing is. Oh. There we go. Reclaim Racing driver number 2 through the finish line. That's a 100.984 for Dan Bowman. And Colby Reich in that iconic green 8-up bouncer on the line. Colby was our Rookie of the Year last season. He was also our featured driver for Friday's race at Wildcat. And he's an all-around great guy. So fun to hang out with and quick to lend you a hand, whatever you might need out here. Oh, we got the bouncer parade coming down. Look at that. Matt Holt, Timmy, Jack, John Campbell in the Taz buggy. What a lineup. All right, Colby. Let's get 8 up, straight up these hills. Shout out and thank you to Josh, our drone pilot, for the awesome footage that he is able to provide for us out here. You can see him flying the drone along. There's a nice shot right there. It's not easy to keep up with these guys through the woods and also avoiding all the rocks and dirt that they're launching out of those tires. We're grateful to have our drone shots added into the show here. I'm sure you guys probably appreciate it too, being able to see all the action. Come on, Colby. There you go. Nice. That's a 90.838 for Colby Reich. Fastest time right now on the course is Daniel Heckley with a 65, followed by Cooper Bentley with a 67. And then, let's see, looks like Clayton Smith with a 77. And we've got none other than Mr. Matt Holt himself on the line now with that High Society buggy. He's getting his safety check from Justin Hoback. Big thank you to Justin for helping out on the starting lines on Saturdays, and he also helps run our youth class. All of our drivers get a last safety check on the starting line before they're allowed to take off. Make sure they've got either a window net or wrist restraints. All harnesses done up. Hans device. Full face helmet is required. Fire suits and fire extinguishers and fire suppression systems. Those are just the beginning of the safety requirements out here. We want everybody to have fun and have a safe time doing it. When you get an extreme sport like this, you got to make sure that the safety requirements are keeping up with it. So big thank you to all of our course volunteers that help us make sure that everybody is staying on top of their safety. Matt Holt climbing these hills now. Matt actually really does. We were giving him a hard time about it earlier, but he actually has a broken leg right now. So yeah. This is how much he loves racing. This is how much he wanted to be in the buggy today. Matt is pushing through the pain. He wanted to be in his rock bouncer. Taylor volunteered to be a stunt driver, and Matt's shut that down real quick. He didn't even have to think about it when he told you no. All right, Matt. Good thing it's his left leg that's broken, not his right leg. Use that right foot, buddy. Oh, all right. Matt wanted to get some tires up on that hill. Spend a little time getting that race seat time today in the High Society Bouncer. Probably best for him not to continue to push it. We don't need anything else breaking. We'll get him back up here in the booth, let him tell us how the hills felt today from the driver's perspective. Looks like we've got old Taz pulling up to the line. Haven't seen this one out here in a bit. That's John Campbell. He's running for Clint Garrison's points today. Always good to see John out here racing with us. Let's see how old Taz handles the big hill down here. This is a tried and true reject fab chassis. Come on, John. Taz with that very distinctive turbo sound. All right, it's all downhill from here. 81.675 for John Campbell. Well, here's a familiar buggy. That distinctive black and neon green color scheme, always easy to pick out. Timmy Cameron on the line. All right, we had a couple guesses of 58, 59 times. The fastest right now is a 65.8. Let's see what Timmy's about to do about that. Boy, this is a blink and you'll miss it run so far.
We've talked several times about this being a giant side-by-side. And I think with that rock ledge going up there, you can definitely tell it is.
Oh.
That's a quick
Catch
time.
that time.
61.836 for Miss Cameron. That is your new fastest time.
That is a very lightweight buggy, trimmed down, a lean, mean, black and green machine.
Lean, mean, black and green machine. It acts like a side-by-side. The way it bounces around as he was going up that hill. We talked a little bit after the last race, and he said it was just still really tight suspension. He was going to loosen it up a little more. And, again, the way you can see it like flexing around that hill, I think he did a pretty good job. And, again, we got some guys. I see the Jack Porter in the Venom buggy. We saw him put on probably the best show here last year. He had lost a rear drive shaft, so he was in front-wheel drive, backing up a quarter mile to try to climb that second course, and wasn't able to get it done. But he was our last driver, and he tried it 5 times, probably 6 times, and it was an amazing, amazing show.
We don't call him Jack Attack for nothing. This old Venom buggy has had quite a few reincarnations at this point in his life.
Yeah,
And
Jack has done
still going strong.
Jack has done some killer work to this thing. Again, lowered it. He's redone pretty much the whole top half of the chassis. See what he's going to do here on this hill. Oh, go, baby, go!
Nice.
That looks super smooth. Again, it wasn't just stabbing the pedal. Again, just a nice, smooth run going there.
He just skated right across.
He really did.
It's almost like Jack has been doing this for a while. I think he's got like so-so brakes on this thing.
Again, you can see a lot of guys taking that right line down. I think just because it's easier, not even because it's faster, just because it's easier.
Oh, come on, Jack. What?
Dang it.
No.
So we had talked earlier. Okay, got it started.
Oh, no. How frustrating. 102.208. Dang, I hate to see that for Jack.
All right. We got Jay Storts and Ford Place sitting in our race line starting gate next.
And Jay is going to wrap up. Nope, I lied. Brandon Davis was
Okay.
number 13.
Oh, okay.
And he chose to go last.
Yeah.
I just remembered that.
Yeah. Again, we talked a little bit about this morning when we saw the UTV drivers, all the early entries, and then after they all were done, we saw our normal entries come over. Getting to watch that course and watch it unfold gives you a really good idea of a game plan and what's going into it.
We have a question on here about how old is Venom.
Oh, wow.
I don't remember what year it was built. It's been around as long as I remember.
It's been around since...
I mean, it Jack has obviously redone it and done a lot of work to it. It used to be the fainting goat that just tipped over all the time.
I'm going to say 15 or 16.
Here, let me ask Clyde.
Yeah. Clyde said, really old?
I just learned an interesting tidbit about Venom I'll share with you guys after
Jay Storch
Jay's run.
ripping off the line there. Again, this is our other Ford-powered buggy in Ford play. Those dirt ledges, they don't look like much, but they're actually pretty steep.
Yeah.
They're about a 3 foot, 4 foot.
I told everyone we'd get your perspective on the hill
Yeah.
when we got you back up in the booth.
That corner is like a nice sweeping corner, and then whoop, right there, it's like the last little bit is really tight. And again, those ledges going up, they're about 3 foot to 4 foot by 4 foot. Coming down, they're a little bit steeper. That last one's like 6 foot by 6 foot, and it's undercut a little bit. So you kind of roll into it, and then as soon as you get done, again, we all saw the Ford, other Ford buggy have issues. So Jay is just zipping right up there. Man. .566 for Mr. Jay Storts. Again, that suspension doing work as he jumps across that finish line.
All right, so real quick about Venom, since we had a question about it. I did not realize. So Clyde bought the original Venom with a single-seat chassis, and it was the one that, if any some of y'all are surely are familiar with, what Matt Myrick drove at King of the Hammers maybe like 10 years ago when he ripped the whole rear axle out of it. Do you remember that?
I do.
And then he
Yes.
drove it off and just dragged
Yes.
the rear end.
And it was like the most watched video of all
Yeah,
time.
that was Venom's original chassis.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. So obviously has had, like I said, it's had a lot of reincarnations at this point in its life.
CJ said, we received the build as a single-seat seater in 2016.
16, yep.
So
Wow.
that is a hot minute ago. I remember watching it in 16. Me and my brother went down to the old flat Dirt Nasty Off-Road Park, and we watched the race there when CJ rolled it into water, which was
I remember hearing about that.
very scary.
Yeah.
All right. Brandon Davis in that single-seat Menace IFS buggy. Again, he is our only IFS buggy as a seasoned driver. Again, we talked to him a little bit yesterday about what his game plan was, and he said that he thinks the IFS will definitely help him put him on a pretty quick pace with these dirt hills.
With all these little ledges in the hill, I can imagine that would definitely help soak up.
Whoa,
Man, look at him.
oh.
My, same as Nick Wright.
Dang it.
Our first and our last driver did the same thing. I don't think it had too much effect on Menace, though.
No.
Boy, did he sure float down that hill, though.
Again, watching it, again, you see a lot of drivers hugging that right side.
Nice. .777 for Brandon Davis. That does wrap up Course 1 for the RCV Bouncer Cup class. We're going to run to a quick commercial, and when we be back, we'll give you that top 5 rundown.
Rebirthed from the depths of Baja, Mickey Thompson Tires announces a new American mud terrain legend. The new Baja Legend MTZ. Silica reinforced T4 tread compound. Powerply 3-ply construction. Improved 4-pitch side biters. Proven MTZ tread styling for undisputed traction. 35 different sizes, and one is just waiting for your rig. The Baja Legend MTZ.
All right, we're back. Again, we're going to run through those bouncer class. Again, we have our top 5 here.
All right, Tim Cameron took the lead that time with a 61.8. And then we had Daniel Heckley with a 65.8.
Wow.
Cooper Bentley in the third spot with 67. Then Brandon Davis with 72. And Clayton Smith with a 77. Those are your top 5 from Course 1 of the RCV Bouncer Cup class. We are going to take a quick break. We'll be back at 11:30. Central Time. We're going to start things off with our youth class this time around, let them run both of their courses, and then we'll be back with round 2 of our UTV Bounty, and then, of course, the bouncers to conclude today's racing show, but there's still a lot to happen, so you guys don't go too far. We'll see you in about 30 minutes.
All right.